Hi, everybody. I'm just sharing the live. Hello. When you come on, tap the screen and share the live, you guys. Today, we're going to be talking about mostly open enrollment, but we're going to do some encouragement and give praise to everybody's accomplishments this coming week, or this past week, rather, or this ending week, rather. But let me just share. Help me share, you guys. And then I will greet everybody in the chat. It's open enrollment for a lot of us. So let me share. Hold on one second, you guys. Let me see if I can get my sister on. Because y'all know she is the insurance guru. There she goes. Hey, Sabrina. Sister. Are you there? I can't hear
Yeah.
you. Okay, got you. You guys, I want this to be an interactive video. Everybody is going into open enrollment, and there are some things. Hey, sister, you look so cute.
I do.
Sabrina says, "Love your
You
life."
having a
Thank
long
you.
day.
Listen, when I tell you I love me some Dave, that man is so funny to me. Hey, Daphne. Hey, Andrew. If you want to come on this live, let me send you an invite, love. We're talking about open enrollment. So I am taking multi guests. I'm gonna start doing that because I feel like a lot of people want to share but don't get the opportunity to share. Sister, did you share the live? Y'all tap the screen as y'all come in. Okay, hold on. I can't see how many people is in here. Kiwi?
Who's that?
Hey, Monica. Sabrina. Hey, girl. Listen, you guys, tap the screen as y'all come in. Share the live. I know this is a weird time. It's Friday. It's Friday, and I'm ready to. However the song go. Hey, Andrew.
Hi,
How's it going?
Andrew.
Andrew, this is my
Hi,
sister
sister.
Summer.
How
Summer,
are
this
you?
is
What is your
Andrew.
sister's name? I want to make sure I say it right.
Summer.
It's summer.
Summer. Yeah, we love her.
You're
She
talking
she
about the
does the
tequila
PAs. We love
part.
her.
It's pronounced.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Samantha. How are you?
Nah, they trying to give me with the summer.
Mm-hmm. Wait till you get your package in the mail and you see how I put your name on it. You guys, if y'all want to come on and y'all have something to add to the conversation, please send me a request if you want to add to the conversation. We're talking about open enrollment and important things that we need to know. Hey, Dave.
Awesome sauce, Samantha.
Yeah. How are you? Let me, Dave, I sent you an invite and let's see. There was somebody else on here I wanted to send an invite to.
Ooh, man on MOUNJARO.
Hey,
I
Hey,
bow.
Dave. Hey, how
I
are
bow to
you?
him.
how's it going?
I
Pretty
bow to
good.
him.
Summer, that's my friend up there, girl. That is my friend.
I know that's what I said I vowed to him.
Listen, my
Hi,
Hoopinator, I love
Shani.
you, baby.
Hey, how y'all doing?
How are you, baby? We're
I'm
talking
good.
about open enrollment today. So we have quite a few people on, so we'll go ahead and get started. So let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Keisha Dixon, you guys. I am a registered nurse by trade. I work under the umbrella of emergency medicine. So I use my platform to pretty much come on and teach. I'm sorry, the sun is not letting me live in my kitchen. So I use my platform to come on to teach. I've been on my GLP-1 journey for a year now, and I am down 66 pounds. And so my specialty is, like I say, emergency medicine, and I just like to come on and educate from just a professional background. And my sister usually comes on with me because she has a background in pharmacy and insurance. Go ahead, sister. I'll let you introduce yourself. Go ahead.
My background is pretty broad. So I have pharmacy background, 15 plus years, no, 8 years on that probably. 22 years plus doing medical, all specialties except colon and rectum. Medical coding and billing, authorizing insurance, looking into benefits as well. So all around, probably about 23 plus experience. I could pretty much run a small hospital by myself.
She sure can. That's why I have her on every freaking live. Every live. Andrew, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi guys, my name is Andrew. For me, I've done this weight loss dance a couple times, So if you have any questions, reach out. But I'm excited to be here.
Mhm. Chantel. Shani?
Hey, y'all. I'm Chantel. Um, I am a medical biller and coder. I have been on MJ for almost a year on October 3rd. So, yeah, that's me.
And Dave?
I'm Dave. I'm Dave, man on the MOUNJARO. I'm an old man. I'm a type 2 diabetic, and at least I feel old when I'm on TikTok. Type 2 diabetic, I'm on MOUNJARO, obviously, and I've been on MOUNJARO for just shy of a year, just 11 months and change. Down 30 pounds, but A1C,
Yes.
A1C is down underneath the diabetic level. And I always tell people, I haven't lost weight as fast as some people like Keisha, but I've been able to lose 30 pounds and keep it off. That's pretty rare for me.
That's a
Like
lot.
I'm losing 30 pounds and gaining 45. That's the story of my life.
Well, I'm glad to see your face and hear your voice all the time, all of you guys. So don't feel obligated to stay. I just appreciate y'all coming on. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get started because I don't want to hold people for a long time. I know it's Friday, but I just wanted to touch base on open enrollment because open enrollment is approaching a lot of people, and there are a lot of things that people need to look forward to. So if you guys are not familiar with what I'm talking about, I know that I have had insurance my whole career, y'all, and I have never really read through an insurance like options. I usually pick what works best for my family when it comes to finance. I want everybody to be covered. And I try to go with a deductible that if we do get in trouble, something that we can afford. That's usually the gist of it. I've never looked into the pharmacy of it all. I never looked into the perks of it all. None of that. I just needed it to be affordable. I needed to make sure that the amount of money that was coming either out of my check or my husband's check was something that we can afford and that we can, balance with our other financial obligations. But now that I have started my GLP-1 journey and I am taking a medication that depends so much on the type of plan that I choose, then I'm trying to educate myself, and in educating myself, I just wanted to bring it to the community. So During your open enrollment period, you guys, it is a time for you to sign up for your health insurance or either make adjustments to your health insurance, to the plan that you currently have, or you can cancel your plan. You can do any of those things. And there's a lot of do's and don'ts when it comes to choosing the type of plans that you're going to be on. But my sister always says to try to start with your medical plan. Go ahead, sister.
Well, open enrollment is a big category, but I'm gonna just go from the employee standpoint. If you're an employer and you're picking open enrollment, you do your medical, life, dental, vision, and any other additional benefits along with that. What I want to educate people, or people don't understand, that you don't choose your pharmacy plan. You can't choose your pharmacy plan. Your pharmacy plan is pretty much attached to your medical plan. So if you choose your medical plan has their pharmacy PBM attached to that. Depending on what you need is how I tell people to base off the medical and then look into the pharmacy. If you know that you're a healthy person and you just need your maintenance meds, most maintenance meds with majority of pharmacy plans, they are covered. But being that a lot of people are trying to get the GLP-1s, you will want to dig a little bit more in depth with your pharmacy plan. And when I say dig in depth with the pharmacy plan, it's more so look at those deductibles, make sure your medical and your pharmacies are not combined, make sure that it also meets your financial needs and obligations. Ask questions before you select. Ask those questions. You can always still call the pharmacy PBM and you can ask them, hey, is this medication covered? They'll pretty much tell you from like the naked eye, tier 1s, tier 2s, tier 3s, what it looked like, and give you a little estimate. If you still don't understand, you can always call member services. I always say call late at night or around this time and get additional questions before you select. Don't just select the plan right off the bat. And don't wait till the last minute. So the key word here is read your medical, read your pharmacy, because the medical might sound good, but your pharmacy person might suck. I know some people only have one choice and you're just going to have to bear the brunt of it. But for those who have multiple choice, like a platinum, a gold, a bronze, CVS, Caremark, because it does do that. Your medical plan might be the same, but the PBM might be different. So that's why I always say scan, and when you scan, look through with like a fine-tooth comb.
Okay, so let me interject in there. Does anybody want to say anything to that? Y'all good? Okay, so in my research, just speaking on what you said, sister, the first thing that I came across when I was researching into open enrollment and things that we should look forward to, it says tips in choosing the right insurance. And like my sister was saying, first you want to take a look at your medical history, your family's medical history, any current concerns, anything that your family has been dealing with for the past year that you think is recurrent. You want to anticipate those type of things happening in the upcoming year, even though we pray against those things. Just if you have dealt with some things that were pretty significant, think about that when you're choosing your coverage. And also, like she said, consider your monthly premiums. That means your deductibles, your copays, any out-of-pocket maximums that you might that may cause issues when it comes to your family. And then also you want to look at individual versus family coverage, because I know there's a lot of couples who, I know in my household, we have our insurance separate. My husband has insurance with his job, and I cover me and my daughters because my insurance covers more than what his did last year. Now, this upcoming year, I think that he has the better insurance. So you want to look at those things too. So not all the time do couples one person carry. Sometimes the household is split, but I mean that's a personal situation. And then also in my research, I looked at the review of your, like my sister said, the review of your drug coverage, the different drug coverages. If you know you take medication regular, that's something that you will be on chronic, like as a chronic medication. You want to make sure that you're picking a medical plan that will cover that type of medication. And then also one thing that I saw, which this probably have been in the paperwork, but they're also promoting looking at telehealth options. Sometimes there are telehealth options that you can look at that is not included in your insurance plan, and you don't have to pick that thing because you can get it cheaper through telehealth options. So that's why with all the literature that's out for open enrollment, they're saying that we should be shopping early and we should be getting ourselves familiar with the different plans that are out there, different health services that are out there to kind of minimize costs, especially in the GLP-1 family. I'm sorry, sister, you can go ahead. Was there something else you wanted to say?
Also, when they pick those plans, like I always say, look into like your FHA, those little slight benefits too, because those can help you pay for some of your deductibles and stuff as well too. If you
Mm-hmm.
are a Medicare person, I will also be mindful if you are in the what they call is a donut hole, which is like a deductible. Um,
Mm-hmm.
or I see Church Girl asks, so is there no way you can get out of a pharmacy deductible? Chances are to get out of any type of deductible, your plan, uh, now in this day and age, I'm gonna say no from what I see. You probably would have to have some good old coverage. It's going to be extremely high to where you won't have any medical or pharmacy deductible right now. With the rise of these medications and everything they need, it's more of a money game. So they're going to try to do some type of deductible, whether it's 500, 15, 3,000, a family combining the pharmacy and medical. It's going to come some type of way. It's just basically if you know you need this GLP-1, like my sister stated, you can look into virtual health. Telehealth is starting to become the way of the world. Majority of insurances are covering telehealth visit. Women, most insurances you can get two well visits. You got your GYN, and then you have your primary care doctor. Use that as your benefit so you don't have to do a hospital copay. As long as you're not being sick, get all your medications at that one time. Use that 6 months. Use that year. Be more proactive in order to do that. You just need to know what your plan offer, and then let your doctors know. Most time, if patients know what they're asking, doctors are very lenient with helping you out because they want to see you, but they don't want to see you if they don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
With GL1 P1s, I know like if you're just starting out and you know it needs a prior authorization, ask them if they can do that prior authorization for that 2.5, that 0.5. They can do all those prior authorizations at one time. So they don't have to go with, and once you get to your maintenance dose, ask them to put that 6 months to a year on that so you don't have to worry about going back. There's also some things in the pharmacy world. If you do have those, say you're on a 2.5 and you know you're going to move up to a 5.0, you can get both of those boxes at the same time. It's more so of telling the pharmacy you're having a dosage change. They don't need to know that you're still on a 2.5. All you need to know is the doctor moving you up. Go get your 0.5 because we know insurance is changing rapidly as this drug go. There's come more popular, more hated, more loved. Everybody's changing, but they're still standing pharmacy rules that where you can get your medication before your insurance decides to, hey, not cover you for that month. It's pretty much if you don't ask, ain't nobody telling.
Mm-hmm. So how many times can a person do a dosage change before your pharmacy or your PBM is like, I mean, is that a wrong thing to do, a dosage change? I mean, because I've done that.
No, No, because it's not just on this medication. Case in point, when I was on my blood pressure medication, we all know my blood pressure used to be like 200 over one, over like in the ones. So they didn't know what to do. They're putting me on combinations. I'm allergic to a lot. I got angioedema. So it's like you do that in the diabetic community, because even though this medication is not for diabetes, it's still one of those that require dosage change and titration. So it's not absurd that you're calling because this didn't work for you. You built up an intolerance, you're allergic, so you might have to switch. So it's not strange for this medication to be one of those medications to where you're getting those dosage change. It's understood.
Got you. Trillis has been added to the chat. Hi Trillis, how are you? And so has Kima. Trillis, you want to introduce yourself, my love? It's nice to meet you.
I didn't mean to add myself. I was listening. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Is there anything that you want to add before I click you out?
No, I'm
Okay.
listening. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
No worries. Go ahead, Kima. How are you, my
Hey, 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 I'm just wrapping up. Hi, everyone. Happy Friday.
love? Okay. Happy Friday, Kima. Kima, can you talk to us about case management when it comes to the case management and the it was something I had was hoping the wellness programs that comes along with insurance when you're picking your insurance plans. Are
Okay,
you familiar?
I'm familiar with some just in general. I can like give some general statements and only speak specific about the one I work with. So let me say
Okay.
that. Because I don't recall even when I picked my insurance plan if it kind of spells out all of the pieces. Some things I kind of learned once I got into it. But as far
Mhm.
as case management is involved. It's, added value to your insurance plan, where we try to ensure that our members do not go into the ER, have to go into the hospital, unnecessary visits. We try to make sure that our members have providers because we know once we start seeing ER claims going in, the first thing pops in our minds, they don't have a PCP, so that means their care is not being followed by anyone in particular. So our goal
Mhm.
is to, of course, always minimize the cost for the insurance companies. I'll be completely honest and transparent about that. We do develop those relationships because we want our members to be healthy. So we do offer diabetic support, heart failure, COPD, diabetes, of course, on top of the list. In addition to weight
Mhm.
loss programs, nutritionist counseling, dietitians, we do give points for, like for my company, for the Peloton. If you have that bike, we do pay for the subscription part of it. And if you are involved in the wellness programs, then in our case, they do pay a portion of that as well. So at this point, it's almost like I'm not paying for my premiums because I'm involved in so many wellness programs with the company.
Mhm.
So case management is there to support the member. For really everything. I don't feel like case management is used as often as it should be. It's like we're a concierge service. That's what I always like to tell my members. Like anything that you need done, all you have to do is ping me, send me a message, and it'll be handled. So, but that's kind of like a quick little, I guess, overview of what we do.
Thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions? Wellness programs like Real Appeal or Rally. Do you understand that, Kima?
Yeah,
Oh, you answered
I
her. I
do.
see.
Yeah, that so we do have the rally, and part of the rally coach, Real Appeal falls under that, and that is a maintenance program for weight loss, 52 weeks. So the first half, you are working on your physical exercise, check in weekly, have conversations with other people that are in your group. You get, of course, recipes, workout plans, and then you just kind of get to just talk about what your dilemmas are, your triggers as far as hard times with weight loss. What do you crave if you have any cravings? And then the last part of the program addresses your mental
Mhm.
health. And within the Real Appeal, and rather there are other components like diabetic management. There's so much. I need to teach send you some recording and screenshots of some things that you can kind of put out on your platform because there's so much information that they provide. It's just
Please
way
do.
more.
Please
Yeah,
do. You know I love
I
stuff
will
like
send it.
that.
I will definitely send it because it is a lot of information that will be beneficial to the community.
Okay. Sister, do you want to add to Andrew? Do you want to add to that, Shawnee?
This is just good
You guys
information because
okay?
I know me, I'm usually just the type to see how much is coming out of my paycheck and I move on about my business. So it's nice to hear that there's so many other benefits that you can take advantage of and really look deeper into the plan. So this is definitely hopeful.
Hmm.
Yep, we gonna read this enrollment. We gonna read, and like I tell
Thank
the
you,
viewers and what
Dave.
always, my inbox is always open. Just give me a while to check. I'm always open. Um, is because it's a lot. It's a lot to take in. When you call these insurance companies, you don't have to do no mumbo jumbo. Just know what you're calling for. Like keep it simple, keep it plain, and we go talk to you like simple and plain, and we go sit on the phone with you. Well, at least I know I do until you get it right and you understand. Um,
Hmm.
I don't work with plenty case managers, and like just to get the understanding of something simple, it sucks that the pharmacy insurance and the pharmacy, like the retail side, they don't get along. It's like a blood and crip thing because it's like they hate insurance, and it's if we communicate better from the insurance side and talking to the pharmacies, I think a lot of this stuff will get done pretty fast, pretty quick if we took the time and had one-on-ones with the patients and treated them a lot better, and it's better understanding because sometimes working on the PBM side, y'all really don't have to call us. It's normally should be the pharmacy giving us the call because it's like not necessarily that, well, call it what it is. They don't know it's their error and they just don't want to get on the phone and call. And some of the stuff that we discuss, y'all don't understand, meaning the patients don't understand. And we have to discuss with the pharmacy because if I tell you what I need to tell the pharmacy, you go be like, what? And
Hmm.
like, yeah, because it don't make sense to you. And so it's a lot of information, but it's real simple.
It's I feel like it's simple to you because this what you do. But I'm like Sweet Face 7545. She says, do you call the PBM or the actual insurance company to find out the best plan? And that's where I be at. I be feeling like I'm gonna miss something because it is a lot. It's a lot of stuff to read. And like if you're not used to reading that type of stuff, it's like how you choose the best plan. Like how do I know? And this is the most important question. How do I know which medical plan to pick that I know my GLP-1 medication gonna be covered through? How do I know that?
I'm a basically, if you were to call and you have questions, the first thing is you can talk to both. You can talk to you're going to get member services, and member services is basically the ones who reach out to you. Member services, customer service, depending on what side you're on. They're going to be the first ones to talk to you, and they're going to tell you everything about this plan from X, Y, and Z from the gate. Now, when you start getting into the pharmacy, they're going to put you on hold and they're going to transfer you to pharmacy customer service, and they're going to get you down to the T. And they're going to answer those questions. If you like, well, what's my deductible? They should be able to, like, your deductible is blah, 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 give you an example, run those test claims. Like, that's what they are there for.
Okay,
To,
so I'm
to
glad you said that because that's something that I learned this year myself. Did y'all know that you can have your insurance company run a test claim on anything, sister?
pretty much, yeah. Everything except pretty much quote unquote a specialty medication, because specialty medications, depending on what it is, go through your medical billing, but for the most part, yeah.
Got you.
And part of the reason why you get that settled, part of the reasons why you can get them, why we run a test claim, let's just say for a lot of you guys, y'all brought your MOUNJARO in, and the number one thing is y'all get is, oh, it's not covered. So there's a million of reasons of why it's not covered. Now, depending on the pharmacy you go to, their screen should mimic our screen, which means when it says it's not covered, if they read a little bit more, it should tell them why it's not covered. So I could be able to say, hey, Miss Dixon, it's not covered because of step therapy. So it gives them the exact reason of why, instead of me just telling you it's not covered, because it's not covered could mean anything. Some pharmacies, like mom and pops, may not have that full capability. All they know it's not covered. Where if you call us, we're able to like, hey, let's see what the rejection the pharmacy getting. We have the power to go in and look at their claim and see why we're not paying them the medication. So when we run this test claim, it pretty much tells us what is needed: the correct D supply, the correct dose, the correct strength, if it's too soon, if you have a deductible. We are able to go in to see why it's rejecting on their end. If it needs like a diagnosis code to place in, it tells us diagnosis code needs to be placed in. Oh, they're billing it with a as a 1 or a 2. You have an extra insurance, a primary insurance, and you didn't give them the primary insurance. Like, that's the purpose of us running this test claim, so we can better assist of quote unquote why you're not getting your medication, instead of them just saying, oh, it's not covered. They can, majority of pharmacies like Walmart, CVS, but most Walgreens can tell you. It just sucked that the retail pharmacy just don't go that extra step. Oh, look at the bottom of the screen. Okay, it's not covering, prior authorization is not needed. Sometimes a prior authorization is not needed, because if it says, like with these medications, 2 mLs for 28 days. But if I'm doing 3 mLs for 30 days, you know what's going to happen? It's out of protocol and a prior authorization needed, instead of them just going in and correcting the date. So that's what I mean by sometimes a prior authorization isn't needed. Sometimes they just need to pay attention to what they're doing and correct the situation before they automatically say, hey, you need a PA.
Gotcha. Proof. Shani, you wanted to add to that?
And just to piggyback off it, because I do medical billing coding for a cardiologist, and she is correct. You can do like test claims, and like say for instance you bill out something that's incorrect for a procedure or something, it kicks it right back and tell you like, okay, this is the wrong code, or this modifier is not correct, or this is missing a certain thing. It does really do kick it back to you on the billing aspect of it. It just kind of depends on what system you using. Like at my job, we use Entergy, and when we send out claims, in a matter of maybe it depends on the insurance company too, on how long it takes for the claims to kick back. But some of them kick right back, and some of them won't even go out until you put the correct information in there. Yeah, some of them does kick back, but sometimes it just depends on, like, some people use eClinicalWorks. It just kind of depends on what system you use. But she is correct. They
So
will Go ahead.
how can we be proactive in making sure things like that get done? Because I know my sister tell me all the time that I be bothering the people at my insurance company, because I like to call and I ask a million questions, and a lot of it is because, you know, as educated as I am, that insurance stuff, y'all, it confuses me. Like I don't know why it just don't resonate with me, you know. So go ahead, sister.
Patience. I know how a lot of us, like a lot of us, are just be frustrated and want those medications. Patience. And then this is the way of the world of technology goes. Retail, from a retail standpoint, we all know retails don't open until 8, 9 o'clock. Let them people get in, get settled, and do what they have to do. Why? Because you all know, everybody, when we clock in, we don't go straight to work. We got to assess our day and see what's happening. In the retail world, what we have is a lot of machines are doing stuff. That's not the pharmacy actually calling you. That's a recording and it's picking up. So when you get those delayed and insurance delay, give the pharmacy, I say, about an hour or two to actually put their hand on it and see what they got. Because doctors 24/7, there's an on call. There's actually
Oh, God.
patients waiting. You can have 1,200 prescriptions waiting in queue when you wake up in the morning. The
Oh,
computer's
wow.
going to do its thing and it's going to situate, and then a human's going to step behind it and actually see if this is actually needed and take the action. So don't answer the first text message you get.
Oh, yeah,
Don't
because as soon as I
answer.
get the text, I'm calling Walmart.
Right. You got to give them time to fix the problem. Now, by 12 noon, you don't hear nothing. Then, okay, you can call. But when you go to a pharmacy in the morning, there's only one pharmacist on duty and one technician on duty. And you know what we're doing? We answering the phones and drive through and people. We haven't even got to the electronic side because they have to be patients and grace. Because just imagine when you, like nurses, soon as you get to the floor, you have to got another nurse giving you a report. So imagine you have 1,200, literally about 5 to 6
Okay,
people giving you a report.
I got you.
Before you even open the door, there's a line in the drive-through, there's a line in the pharmacy, and the phone is already ringing, and you haven't either unlocked the pharmacy, raised up the gate. Hell, you haven't even turned the light on. And you got like 9 people yelling and cussing at you.
Here comes Miss Dixon.
Like, the hell? So,
Oh, my God. That's
so
mean. That is so mean.
and
Hold
you gotta
on, let me
understand.
get. Oh, God. I
You
am
got
so
to
sorry because
understand
I
too,
know I am.
doctors'
Oh, my
offices
God.
are
That is so
open at
mean.
7 o'clock. So they about 7 o'clock, they electronic scripts, send, and per patient, you can say each patient has about 5 to 10 scripts.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, sister. Hold on, let me get to the chat. Ms. Janelle says this is also something your employer's benefits department should be able to assist you with. Andrew was saying that he didn't know that you can do test claims. Octavia says I always went with the plan that covered everything. It was the most expensive, but I'd rather be covered. That makes so much sense. Um, let's see. Thank you, Kima, so much for helping Octavia out in the chat. Sweet Face says, yes, I got my hands on speed dial at the pharmacy. I gotta relax. Girl, I definitely have to relax because I be doing the most. As soon as I get my alert, I be like, where my medicine at? And I think it's trauma because of this shortage. So it's like, I know for me, I want to be the first one there because if they only have 5 WEGOVYs or 5, 10 milligrams of MOUNJARO, I want to be the first. I want to
But
be a part of that. I
but
don't want
what
to
did I
be.
tell you? Build up a nice rapport and don't be excuse my French, an asshole patient, and you'd be surprised what we'll do. Also, I don't know if y'all know, but I'm gonna drop this gem because I never told this to y'all. Let's just say you at your Walmart, and there's a Walmart about 2 blocks over. You know they have the ability and the capability of looking in the system to see who have that on hand, right? Checking the on hand of another store, and they
Yeah,
also have the capability of giving it shipped to their store so you can have it the next day. You'd be surprised what someone to do if you're nice to them. Be nice to your pharmacist, be nice to your technicians, and then be nice to you.
got it. I got it, sister. Does anybody have any questions? Hi, Kelly. Janelle says Kroger has the capability of doing that as well. Hester, thank you for joining. Mary Sue says, she says, but
All of
they'll
them do
tell you
except
no
mom
and
and
they cannot
pops.
see the other store's inventory.
I know they normally say it to keep it down, to don't abuse the privileges. Most times they say no because of if it's narcotics, we can't see what's in your C2. That we can't see in your C2 safe, because if we only fill like 5 patients of the lauded, and then the other store is a 24-hour store and you next to a hospital and y'all got all that, that's different. They don't share C2 information. But other stores, yeah, just like you go in CVS and you be like, hey, do you have this makeup? And they be like, no, can you check another store? It works the same way. Like if you go to the pharmacy and you do this thing, it's the same capability. It's just another one of those, if you don't ask, don't tell. If you're a
Do
jerk
y'all
person,
hate when we do that?
not if I love
Oh,
you,
so
not
I
if
gotta
you're
be
nice
sweet.
to me.
Oh, okay. So you're saying I gotta be nice, be nice, be
But if you
nice.
come there and be like, oh, I'm a nurse and I know what you saying, I don't care. Good nurse at your hospital. And like I said, what I said, because I used to tell my manager every day, I'm gonna sign this blank write up and you fill it in accordingly, because I used to be ready. This is why I'm no longer in the real world. I work from home now. But yeah, just have a
Gotcha.
little more patience. And I think the
Hmm.
retail world needs to have a little more patience too. Like, take your feelings out of the work. You know what I'm saying? It's like, just because you don't like MOUNJARO or WEGOVY, don't be mean to patient A. Don't be mean to patient B. Just because you hate picking up it's your job because you sign up for it. It's a little demanding, but all jobs are demanding, you know?
Yeah, I
And,
can just imagine with that
and
medicine.
they just need to stop treating. I hate that they treating patients more as a number than a person.
Hmm.
Like, I could have 1,200 people behind you, but if Keisha is in front of me, Keisha, you got all my time. Everybody else have to wait. The phones have to wait and everything have to wait, and I don't care what it is. Because I don't want you to come back. I don't want to hear your mouth. I'm gonna tell you everything for you not to so we won't have this problem again. Educate you, and now that you know and you understand, we won't have this point. And I think that's the problem all the way around. There's a disconnect from the doctors, from the pharmacy, from the PBM. It's like a disconnect.
Hmm. So, girl, yes, I lived in Kizzy. We were raised in La Paz, but my husband's from New Iberia. So I lived in Lafayette for 10 years. She said she hears an accent. She's a Southwest Louisiana girl. Yes, I am a Southwest. I'm married into that Southwest culture, that Creole girl. That food is amazing. That's why I'm on Jaro, because y'all. That's the exact reason why
You
I had to
can't
get on
get
the
mad
drug,
at
because
them because you can't close your mouth.
I was a tiny little thing before I met my husband. Fetish Foodie says, should I ask to speak with the pharmacist? I'm always very calm and patient.
Before you get to the pharmacist, I will ask sometimes I will ask to speak to a
Oh God,
to a
that's
senior tech.
me.
Most of them have senior techs. I will ask to speak to the senior tech, because if you can get your senior tech, um, they will help. The senior tech is like the nurse of the pharmacy. So sometimes the pharmacists do know, sometimes they don't know. It's like a
Hmm.
hit or miss. You have that doctor that knows, and then you have that doctor that don't know. Same way apply with the pharmacy. The pharmacy has a lot of floaters, a lot of high turnovers, but one thing about it, if you find that senior tech probably been there for years. That
Oh,
might
got
be
you.
that might be the one person who have not flopped. That pharmacist might be something serious, and them other people might be a newcomer and change. But that senior tech been there for quite a while. That's the person you want to befriend.
Octavia, that's the one that's rude. Octavia said, "I'm going through CVS a few." She went through CVS a few weeks ago, and the drive-thru was closed. And she said sometimes they are just rude. That's that senior tech being rude as hell. Octavia,
Sometimes they close the
she
drive-through
said
down
that's our
because
pharmacy.
they can't handle the capacity. They treat Just imagine this: when you walk into a fast food restaurant, like to a McDonald's or to a Burger King, that's how the pharmacy is designed to run, like fast food. I don't know who idea it was, I forgot his name, but if you research or if you ever look, That's how it was. You have one person on front counter taking orders. You have somebody in drive-through taking orders. You have the pharmacist, which is the manager who's supposed to be bagging your medication, and then you have another person supposed to be. But in the real world, it's not like that. You have one person to the drive-through, one person, that same person runs the drive-through and the front counter. They can't do both, but they supposed to. They cut hours, so they probably only working 25 hours a week. And while we trying to get our medications too, when they cut the hours for them, they insurance drop and they have to start all over.
Mm-hmm.
So like, be nice to the pharmacy.
So Church Girl says a pharmacy tech that tells me I should have enough meds to last even when my PBM says I can refill. What about those times? And I know
Refill
you
it.
can't. I know you
Refill
can't
it.
answer for another person, but
Refill it, because you might do. But it's not my, unless it's a narcotic, I don't have no business scrutinize you. Because, and the main reason why I say that, because the DEA checks those lists monthly. That can come back on everybody, me, whatever, and we can get a fine. And insurance as well go through that scrutiny. But if you got 90 days worth and you still got those 90 days worth or whatever it is maybe, that's your business, how you manage your medication. If your insurance pay for it, that's not my business. I'm gonna pay for it. Now I
mm-hmm.
can advise you and be like, hey, you sure you don't have no medication on hand? And I can fix, because sometimes those days supply could be off. You might got sick, you might be going on vacation. I don't know your business.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can advise and you be like, okay, and we can talk, but if it's time for it to be filled and it goes through your insurance, that's not my problem. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Stop telling these insurance. Stop telling these pharmacies so much of y'all business. I know
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they could be a little intimidating, but you do not have to give up your business like you think you have to give up your business. It's okay to say no.
Mm-hmm.
And if you find somebody that you don't like, I told y'all, before you call corporate, fill out those surveys, that long CVS sheet. Fill that survey out, because they will answer and they will see that survey in 24 hours before they will answer your calls. The corporate world. Them
Got you.
surveys, them surveys is like to the front store, because the managers see it in the front store. The pharmacists will see it, and the district managers see it. It's like a stoplight. So it's red, green, yellow. So when y'all do those pharmacies, those surveys, the worse the survey, the yellow, the red. The better the survey, the yellow, the green. And there's certain amount that they do for their bonuses and their raises, so they rely on those surveys. So I will hit a survey before I call corporate in a minute. Do
Mm-hmm.
both.
Octavia says, I asked the pharmacist if she was familiar with the ADA Act of 1990. She said, we got into it bad. And low carb me says, I need a PA for MOUNJARO. My doctor says to use Trulicity. Is that medicine good for weight loss? I've heard a lot of success stories with that. A lot of success stories with people on Trulicity. Hey Delante, I see you, my love. I sent you an invite just in case you wanted to come on and add. Thank you for sharing.
Big sexy.
She
Bring
knows she's
on up
here.
here. Get on this camera right now so I can tell her. Cause
Hello.
your ears should be ringing, because I told my sister yesterday, or was that this morning? Either
That was this
yesterday or
morning.
today. Or this morning, I told my sister you was fine. I said, girl, Delante is so fine. And I'm
Hey,
Okay, am
friend.
I on here?
Yes.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, honey bunny.
I got caught up at the office, but I'm leaving now. What y'all got going on?
We were
open
talking about.
enrollment.
Go ahead, sister.
We're talking about open enrollment, what to look for, what not to look for. Any other pharmacy and medical questions on the line?
I'm sure it's been wonderful.
Yeah, we were talking about the do's and the don'ts, things to avoid, tips when choosing plans, um, doing your research, monitoring, your family needs prior to selecting. And one thing I had asked my sister, which I don't know if we got the answer to, how do we
You
know which
echoing.
medical plan to choose to ensure that our GLP-1 is covered? You said call the PBM and see.
Yeah, because in the end, there is no perfect plan outside of free. We all have to move overseas for that. Um, if you basically, because they're changing so much, you already know. Let me see. The Medicares, the Medicaids, they're looking like, free to whatever. Um, your deductible, that's one thing. There's no real way that I could say that you
There's
can
no
get
way to
around it.
tell.
Yeah, because one thing about it is if you're not, and it sucks because how your deductible work, in order to meet your deductible, you will have to be a sickly person,
Yeah,
realistically. And if you're not a sickly person, then you will never truly meet your deductible. You know what I'm
which means
saying?
you'll be paying out of pocket for your medicine.
For the most part. Um,
Mm.
and that's where it comes to choosing your plan, because it's like the more you take out your paycheck or the higher your premium, the lower your deductible.
Mhm.
Um, having it combined like your pharmacy and medical, sometimes that's a good thing because your well visits count, your sick visits count, your virtual visits sometimes count, and they all take off, helping you meet your deductible at the same time. Where my deductible is $500. So if I got like a box of the GLP-1, and that's 12, I met my deductible off of
Yeah.
one package. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it all depends on, and that's why I say when you look at your medical plan and you start scrutinizing, if you see that all the plans have a deductible and stuff in place, look at it and just figure out a plan of how you're going to get around something that's good for your pocket, something that's good for all your health needs, and just figure out how to get around it. Because with me, um I pretty much know how to get around like the medical and the coding and all the other
Because
stuff.
that's
Like,
what you do. We need to know.
Mhm.
I need to know.
that's because I'm broke. I don't do it from because I'm a medical professional. I do it because I'm a low single citizen on a budget. That's why I learned that way before I got into the medical field. And then when they started to say it was mandatory for tax purposes, you needed health insurance, because I ain't never had health insurance. I lived off this. I went to the local health unit, or I found some way to get around with having insurance once I was dropped from Medicaid because I couldn't afford it.
Mhm.
So I
So,
probably actually didn't get on a medical plan until I was like 27, 28.
mhm. So speaking of Medicare, Bethany says she says she have Medicare, and she says she's hoping there are plans that will offer coverage or more coverage for these medicines. I thought Medicare was covering.
It all depends on your Medicare, your Medicaid, and then the plan that you pick. Because Louisiana Medicaid ain't South Carolina Medicaid or Medicare.
Oh.
Uh, so everybody, if you're disabled don't look like when you turn 65. So it
Mhm.
all depends on, and then when you turn 65, you might live in the country area and they have benefits for the ones that stay up north, but then they might have different benefits for the ones that stay down south. It's very,
Mhm.
very fickle how the plans change. Even for people who do the Obamacare plans, really, really watch those, um because they're fickle too.
Mhm.
From the looks of it, it looks like a lot of the Medicare that I do, the Medicare and the Medicaid that I do, it looks like they're trying to get Wegovy off. You can still do a prior authorization, but Wegovy is not listed. Um, it's just MOUNJARO and Ozempic. So
Mhm.
just because you don't see the medication, don't mean a PA can't be done.
Got you. With 1118 asks, does anybody know any more information about when Manjaro is going to be approved for obesity? I don't. I just keep hearing by before the first of the year. Do most companies not provide the formulary with the enrollment package? Ooh, that's a great question.
All companies do. The problem is what's happening now is we're in the digital age. A lot of us
Mhm.
don't know how to maneuver the websites and get through the
Mhm.
websites so you could gain the access. They no
Mhm.
longer do the paper, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They when you call member services, customer service, you know what they could do? They could walk you through each and every icon and tell you how to maneuver through. They can also
Like
tell
they
you how
did
to
me.
download the app and teach you how to maneuver through because that's what they're
Yeah.
there for.
Mhm.
So you can get access to the formulary. Yeah, that's they're gonna tell you it's on the website and it's on the plan, but it's a matter of knowing how to maneuver through. And you can ask them because it's okay to ask them.
So what is Bethany talking about? She says I have Anthem. They cover Ozempic, but I hit the donut hole after a few months. What does that mean? The donut hole.
Donut hole is something like a deductible.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna just say it's a deductible that you meet. And normally you see that with like Medicare or some type of government. And I will always ask to call because with them, they don't tell you when your medication could be free or it could be $2 to $3, and then one day you wake up and you go fill and your medication is $300. I will
Oh wow.
always ask, like that's another thing. I will always ask, hey, do this plan have a donut hole? And if you do have a donut hole, when is the donut hole period? Sometimes it's at the end of the year, sometimes at the beginning of the year, sometimes at the mid. It's like a surprise. Like
So
for
is
some
that
reason,
something that we all should be asking if our plan has a donut hole?
well, no, you have a deductible. This is more so for like Medicare.
Oh. Oh.
They might have some plans, but like this right now, insurance is changing across the board. I'm seeing new stuff being added, like supplemental, like when mine asks for a supplemental in order for me to get Wegovy or Manjaro approved. I'm like, I never heard of getting a supplemental on top of a regular insurance a day in my life. But um rider benefits. I haven't heard anything about rider benefits, not in the pharmacy part anyway. So now my insurance is asking for rider benefits, which is the part of, long story short, is like a supplement. So open enrollment, scrutinize,
Mhm.
highlight, scrutinize, call these people at 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night, knowing that they'll take their time, answer with you. Someone is always there on that phone because you're going to see stuff like you've never seen anything before. And it's not just the GL1, GLP community being affected. It's a lot of medications across the board that I'm seeing Vyvanse, even test stress.
Mhm.
Um, they're removing, they're putting quantity limits, they're even putting age limits. So don't be um fooled by because it's FDA approved your insurance going to cover it. FDA approved is like one hurdle. The second hurdle is your insurance plan. Now, what do they say?
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Got you. So Mari says Wegovy is out of stock everywhere. Does anybody know when it will will come in stock? So I don't know. I don't know, Mari. I know that they are limiting the distribution on those early doses that 0.25 to 5 and the 1 milligram. Although I have some colleagues who um Somebody, Delonte, can you use your phone? Oh, there you go. What was I saying? Although I have colleagues who can get the 1 milligram, so and then we live here in Houston, so I've not heard of anybody who is on 1 milligram or up have issues getting the 1 milligram or better. But I'm gonna refer you to Man on Manjaro. I know he keeps up with that. Dave keeps up with that, and he's always posting updates on that. So if you're not following Man on Manjaro, go ahead and give him a follow, and you can DM him, and I'm pretty sure he can tell you all the information that he is familiar with. Does anybody else know anything about when the shortage is going to end with the earlier doses of Wegovy?
No, we just look at the shortage. I follow the FDA shortage list just to see and look on there if there's any other new NDCs or anything. But from what I can see, it
Oh, I love
doesn't
the
say. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
say. Um, it'll stay on the. To my understanding, it stays on the FDA shortage across the board. So your pharmacy might get a little bit today. It doesn't necessarily mean um it's it could still be in shortage. It's just that the warehouse just got some and evenly distributed to like 1 or 2 boxes here or there.
Come back,
But
Delonte.
mm, so far,
She's
the website
driving.
hasn't said anything.
Sorry, sister. Okay, I'm sorry. Did you finish your sentence? I'm sorry, baby.
I did.
Okay. Octavia says, my company is self-service for everything. Calling will take hours. BB Howard says, what to do if you did 3 PAs and got denied?
My number one question when a PA get denied is why.
Mm-hmm.
It's why. I close out PAs. I deny PAs for the smallest things. Sometimes your PA don't even get to the criteria because your doctor don't put the directions in, don't put the quantity that they supply. It could be missing, it could be wrong. Um, just all type of stuff. It could be denied, but in order to dispute the denial, I mean, like, why?
Mm-hmm.
That's my number one question. Like, why was it denied? Never
Why
let
did
them
you get
just tell you
denied?
it was denied. Like, tell me why. I would like you to
Mm-hmm.
let them hear them say, oh, because the drug's not covered. Why is the drug not covered? Because with every denial, there's a reason. Because we give the doctor, we tell them it's denied, we tell them why it's denied, and we tell them how to get it approved. So no
Mm-hmm.
insurance company be like, oh, it's denied. We give the reason why it was denied and how to get this medication approved.
Got you.
So your doctor do have that. And if your doctor is one of them doctors that don't like to tell, then you can always call and your insurance company should tell you.
Got you. Church girl says, my daughter turned 26, so she is off my insurance. Why do I still have to meet a family deductible? Do you know?
And tell you she just got off the deductible. I mean, she just got off the insurance. Until you change your plan, you're still on a family plan.
Oh, okay, that's why. It doesn't end when she turns 26. It ends when at your next open enrollment. That's why. Yeah, that's why, love. Let me see. I know you
Yeah,
driving, baby.
yeah, Kima. The written denials for the member and the provider. A lot of people say they don't get them. That's why I say always call. And then again, a provider is not going to. I like to tell members to call the insurance company because it's so easy to blame. We get blamed for a lot. And a provider ain't gonna tell you, oh, I misspelled your name or I left off your last name. Hell, I didn't even put my name on it. Like, you'd be surprised. Like, Doctors don't even put their name, or the medical assistant don't even put the name, or the diagnosis is missing. Like, they're not going to tell you that. They're just going to tell you, oh, it was denied.
Yeah.
Summer, can we go back real quick to the donut hole? My phone started messing up. But can y'all hear me? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the donut hole though, but isn't it more like a spending limit? Like if you spent like, so I'm making this number up. So you have $1,000 this year to spend on one particular medication, and once you reach that $1,000, then you enter the donut hole until the next year or whenever your time renews. Is it like that? Like you drop off because you maxed out on what you can spend for that. Is that right?
From what I'm told, like the best way how it was explained to me was a deductible. I never really got into um got into the whole details. I never was explained the whole details of the donut hole. That's just was the best way that I was able to explain to like a elderly person, because I always saw them with Medicare when they came in. But
Okay.
from
Okay.
from what I remember, it is like a temporary spending limit though. Yeah, I just
Right.
don't
And
know
then they
when.
can get out of it like when they start over again. So say for instance, like a deductible. So say for instance, we have $1,000 that we have to meet for our deductible a year. Well, we buy one box of MOUNJARO. We met that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now we down and we can pay whatever the lower price is or whatever. But with a donut hole, now I could be wrong, but the donut hole, I think you have, I'm gonna say 10,000 a year. So you have to buy pretty much a box for 10 months.
Oh my
That they
God.
write out or whatever. I'm making that up. Now that's
Okay. But
let's stick with the
I
thousand.
understand the concept.
Okay, right.
And that's
Mm-hmm.
probably why, and I'm like, I'm gonna look into it, but that's probably why a lot of people don't see it until the end of the year, is because they done got majority of their meds or whatever, and probably done ran out of the allotted amount of money. And then by the time January, December, the new year come, they be like, oh, I'm stuck, or their medications go up. So that makes sense to me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like my mom, she always fall off about September. So I have to cover her
Yeah.
medicine from September through December. And then in January, I pay like so much down, whatever that particular, I think it's like 125. And then she back on
It just come out
Mm.
the
till
blue, because
like
it
the
do
next
come out. That's
September.
why I said it come out the blue like surprise. I don't know when it happens, but it
Right.
comes out the blue. And that's why I would always tell like my Medicare people and majority like the Medicare people, like call and ask and see what your donut hole when it's going to pop up, because eventually somewhere in time it's going to pop up. When, you just don't know when it's going to pop up.
You
And that
never
what
know.
makes
Right. Because
it
I think
it
it's
just
an amount.
you
Right.
Mm.
don't
Okay.
know. Yeah, like she said, you have that spending limit. So if you know you only got 10,000 to spend, and you're buying 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 worth of medication, so by the time you get to like you said, September, October, you done met your limit, and then you're in the donut hole because you don't have no more money. So now you got to pay a
Gotcha.
certain percentage of what you got. So it does make sense,
Gotcha.
but
So
they
I
don't
wonder
tell you that.
if
They don't tell you that percentage that I know of. That's why they should call.
Right. They
mm,
don't.
take
And
care.
typically she calls me because she's, at the pharmacy. They just said some crazy number. She want her medicine. So
Mm.
I know that it's my turn to kick in until December, and then whatever that first part of January is, I have to meet that deductible so she can get the rest of it. But right,
The
there's no like,
pharmacy,
because I've tried to figure it out. Like you really can't figure it out. She just gets there and it's
yeah,
like
because the farm.
jump in.
I can honestly say the pharmacy don't know. There's nothing there that's gonna say done at whole. It might say, we can go back and look in a claim, and like if y'all have a deductible, like if a patient have a deductible, we can see that you have a deductible, but we can't see if there's something
Mm-hmm.
that says like you have a donut hole. Well, I know I never ran across it, but you can't see that. So that's another thing. Like,
Right.
help your elderlies and help those and find out so you can at least, just get an idea of how it works.
Yeah, it took me a whole year to figure out my insurance.
Really?
My insurance, I don't have a deductible. I got what you call a co-insurance. So it's according to which tier plan you have, you pay 70%, 80%. The insurance
That's
will
how
pay
my husband's
70%,
is.
80 or 90%. So it's
That's how
no
my
it's no
husband's is.
deductible. You just do co-insurance all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
So what you
cheaper?
think about that? What do you think
Yeah.
about that?
Basically, I learned a lesson. I usually, when I first started the job with the federal government, I just picked the lowest tier because I wasn't using it like that. But now I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
get the higher tier because the higher tier you eligible for mail order, which saves you a lot of money.
Yes.
So with the higher tier, they pay 80% of pretty much everything, and you just left with the
Ooh.
20%. So now, like, I get 3 months supply of my journal for basically it's supposed to be $180, but with the coupon I'm only paying $25 for the 3 month supply.
Wow.
Scared of
Oh
you.
my goodness.
Yeah, but it took me a
I'm
year to
so jealous of
learn.
y'all. I'm so jealous. I want a
And you
coupon.
and you see that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying about, when I'm trying to educate, and I'm not only educating, I'm trying to learn myself, y'all. I'm just bringing all of this stuff to light because we don't realize how important it is. My sister tell me all the time, you need to go through those plans and see which one is going to work for you based off of your family needs. Because my husband is diabetic. He's a he has hypertension. My daughter has some health issues, and then now here lately, I have rheumatoid arthritis. But here lately, especially since we've been on the GLP-1 and we've been running into paying, like my husband is on that co-insurance, like what you're saying, he pays a percentage of his MOUNJARO. Now I see, yes, it is important for us to learn those plans so that we can make sure, sometimes paying those higher premiums work out best because you get more when you actually use your policy, right?
But look
Yes.
at it
Am
this
I
way
saying that
though.
right?
Look at it this way though. So let's just say I'm gonna do like if I had a family. Let's just say like females, you already know everybody gets well visits, even females and males. You get well visits. You take your time with your well visits. As long as you're not sick, you get your flu shots, you get your prescriptions, you get everything filled for a year for your well visits. You realize no matter what plan you on, all the world is big on mental health. So you already know if you take if you see a psychiatrist or you need to see a specialist, there's so many benefits that's geared to just mental health. You check those plans and see if they have any type of free counseling because most of them do. This is how you narrow it down. If you know like you're a diabetic and you're going to see a specialist, you might look at your medical plan and be like, hey, specialist 65 at this plan, specialist $25. You know your needs, and that's how you start weeding off how to pick your plan based off
Hmm.
of your health issue. If you know you're going to be pregnant in a couple of years, we all know that majority of most states uh give you additional supplement on top of like you can qualify for some type of pregnancy Medicare along with your regular to help you pull up those deductibles. So depending on where you're going and how, there's other stuff you can add to it later to fit your needs. Um if you know you going to have a major surgery or whatever, you're going to look into home care, home health, or whatever care to structure your needs. Once you get your mental health and your physical health and realize this is where I'm at, this is where I'm going, I'm getting older, then you would look into your pharmacy benefits after you check your health plan because like I told you, your pharmacy follows your health. Once you get your health
Hmm.
together, then you can be able to look at A medical plan A is good, medical plan B is good. How do I pick between these two? Let your pharmacy, I take all this medication. I take this medication. I might need this medication. Then you write that down, and then you figure out the two. That's how you start
Mhm.
weeding. Don't go
Mhm.
into open enrollment with a blind plan. Even after you
Mhm.
do that vision, you like glasses, you like to switch your frames, you like designer frames, you got contacts, you want the glare and stuff. When you pick your vision, most time your vision is only one plan, but they have a basic and they have a premium. If all you're doing is getting a basic pair of plastic, you're gonna
Oh
go
no,
with
honey, she gets the premium. She gets the premium plus.
but that's basically how you start weeding it off. Even when you do long-term, short-term disability, you have your short-term disability. Again, that's for when you get pregnant. You might break a leg. Hell, if you know you need that mental break, guess what? You can use your short-term disability for your mental break. So it's like, get that. Your long-term disability is anything that's gonna come after 4 months or whatever. But just get that long-term disability because it's cheap and it's something to have. Um,
Mhm.
when you also look into these plans, your SHA, if you know you have to get a low plan because that's all you can afford, then that's when you start looking, well, SHA gives me 500 a month. Oh, I can do this with this. Maximize that out. Like, you might
Mhm.
have to pay for this medication. You will never
Mhm.
know until you do see what they pay for. So even if you have to go cheap, there's still other ways around it to get these medications. You just have to think outside the box a little bit.
Mhm.
So you
Got you.
can so you can get what you so you can get the full benefit out. So even if you have to go cheap, it is not a kill all. Y'all call the manufacturers. Um and not just with this medication, you'd be surprised what we do helping. There's plans in place, calling Norvis for whatever medication, when it's Trulicity, Victoza, you can't afford it, and you go on Victoza website and you read that fine print. If you can't pay such and such, and we have a outside of just the coupon you get. There's so many stuff in place that can get you your medication,
Yeah,
so
I
you
think the
can
I
get
think the
what you
problem
want.
is the not knowing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know I have a hard time with that. I have a hard time with it because that's why I call so much. That's why my sister said I get on the people nerves is because I just don't. I have to know. I'm not the type of person that's gonna read through. If I don't understand it, I'm gonna read it a couple times. If it don't click like that, I have to call some. I have to call, and I call a lot, y'all. Carrie, someone was asking, is your plan based off you being diabetic? I don't know if you're comfortable with answering that or not. Your the percentage that you're paying. I guess they're asking, are you paying for it for diabetes or are you paying for it for weight loss?
No, no, my plan has nothing to do with my diagnosis. That's just the plan that I selected at the beginning of the year. It doesn't have anything
Oh,
to
so
do
you
with
can
my
get any
diagnosis.
medicine.
Yes, I could pretty much get any medicine.
Oh my
Basically, what I
gosh.
did, I got best friends with one of the workers at CVS Caremark, which is responsible for my Blue Cross, my Federal Blue Cross insurance go through CVS Caremark. I called so many times. I met this older lady at CVS Caremark. She educated me on everything. I mean, she sat
Mhm.
down the phone with me for an hour and she basically told me everything I needed to do to get my medication. Because well, I took it for 2 months and then I was kicked out for 3 months. I had to go to Ozempic. But during those 3 months,
Mhm.
that lady educated on me how to get it back. So I did everything she said, and I ended up getting it back for another for 6 months now. So
Mhm.
March of next year, I will have to resubmit another prior authorization.
Oh, okay. Got you. But is the prior authorization
Do you get
for
to come back October 1st?
girl? I'll let you know what today is. What's today? The 29th? I'll let you know tomorrow because I'm going to call them. I'm going to call them. Actually, when we get off this phone, I'm going to check because, sometimes the Lord step in. I'm going to check as soon as we get off this phone. And I will text you and let you know if it's on my formulary or not. But that's what I was told.
You
I was told
cannot
that
check until October 1st. I'm gonna tell y'all
tomorrow, not
those.
the first.
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
can't
Well, I
tell
have
you
a
nothing
Sunday.
about October until October comes.
Well, to go
See?
by the mine, I had to do a prior authorization and what you call a tier exemption because MOUNJARO was listed as a tier, the higher tier medication on my insurance, which made it the
Mm.
most expensive. So I ended up having to do a tier exemption, which got the tier level dropped to make it affordable. So I had to go through prior authorization and tier exemption. So it took me 3 months to get it done, but I wasn't gonna
Oh,
take no for an
wow.
answer.
So what you
So
did in the interim?
I did Ozempic because my insurance
Okay.
policy it covered as Ozempic. I could get Ozempic for $20 a month. So I took the Ozempic the 3 months that I was without the Mounjaro.
And
Oh,
I
okay.
love that you were proactive because some people wouldn't even take, that option until they get what they want. Like, if I had it my way, I would be on Manjaro because I love Manjaro. I won't take away from Wegovy because Wegovy has done its thing too. But what happened with me was my insurance covered me for one box at $25. And when I went back to go get my next refill, it was like, excuse me, PA needed. And then when it came to the PA, of course, Manjaro wanted the type 2, and I was like, I'm not even going through this. I know how to get around it, but I ain't going through this. I went straight to the compound. So I was paying $337 for Manjaro a month on the compound, which did its thing. But, I'm trying to buy a house and everything, and my pockets was a little funny. So I switched to Wegovy. Wegovy did its thing too. It worked a little slower, but it's still doing the same thing as Manjaro, and I would take it away at all. So it's like I said that to say this. If you have to get Trulicity, Victoza, Ozempic before you could get to Manjaro, take them because they
Yeah.
still work. It's about
Yeah.
your health. It's about getting on track. The weight loss is the bonus, but the overall is everything. Do what you need to do until you can get what you want. Get what you need until you can get what you want,
Hmm.
basically.
And I see Cher says, I don't want compound for her. I'm thinking she's talking about her daughter. Correct me if I'm wrong. She says, step therapy, get started. I agree. Not all compound pharmacies. I hate that compound Oh, she's confirming that she's talking about her daughter. I hate that compound pharmacies are getting this bad rap because of these bad apples because they have a lot of great compound pharmacies that do third party verifications for y'all medication, but people are scared.
Majority
They're scared of people.
What pharmacies don't do what compound pharmacies don't do third party verifications? Now, if you're talking about the ones that you're going over Mexico and you could buy on a corner store at a bodega somewhere, guess what? I mean,
So are you saying all compound pharmacies send their medicines off to batch check? Is that why is that why it takes so long for y'all to get it? Like why Aaron tell you to order your medication a week or two in advance because it has to be sent off to be verified?
not just enough to be verified. I mean, it's just the whole process. They get in the prescription through e-scribe. It takes a while to get an e-scribe. You still have the chain. You still have to do that. That batch verification is pretty much done sometimes in the pharmacy. Like everything goes through. You have to keep a log of these things. Like I explained to you and Aaron, because you never know when you're going to get that call. So we have to write down each lot, each of from the B12 to the water, whatever is mixed, everything is on that list except for the syringe. And sometimes the item is on there too of what you got it out because everything is needed. So that's a requirement for all pharmacies, for the hospital, for compounding, for infusion therapy. Even if you a simple little mixture at the pharmacy, like when you do your magic mouthwash that you rinse your mouth out and you pick up at Walgreens. Guess what? That's the compound, and all those NDCs and lots are keeping track of and put in the system because anything can happen. That medicine can go on recall, and we need to backtrack and let everybody know who's on
Okay.
that medication. So
Okay.
yeah, so
I
it's
have a
like,
question.
who told you
I'm
that?
sorry.
That's like how I get like, who told you that pharmacies are not? Which
That was just something. That was just something that in my research that I was learning when I was educating on how to pick a compound pharmacy. That was one of the biggest red flags I seen on everything. And I like to go through the evidence-based practice material. They were saying make sure that they are certified, make sure they're accredited, make sure they do third-party verifications. Like some pharmacies don't do third-party verifications. And then today I saw this gentleman. I don't know what his position is, but it appears that he worked for a med spa and he was trying to teach people how there's like when they are drawing their medication from a vial, at some point in that vial, there's a little set corner of the medication that they can't get out of that vial. So he showed them how to use a bottle, like a beer bottle opener to open the vial, aspirate the medicine, and he was telling them to put it in the new vial. Isn't that should to me that seemed like you shouldn't do that because don't each vial have a lot number? So if something
each
goes wrong,
valve
you
has a
won't
lot
get.
number, and you got to understand when we do these compounds, we're working under a hood. We can't bring nothing excess in there. It's like when you twist those bottles, that's all the flick of the wrists, the flick of knowing how to do a needle, know how to draw up. We don't have no tricks and no trades or nothing. That's why my Nexia, one thing I love about Nexia is everything is already drawn up for you. That's one
Yes.
thing that I like about Nexia. They don't send you the two ingredients and you do it yourself. Now,
Yeah.
Nexia has everything pulled up and you just taking out the refrigerator, cleaning the area, and you're sticking yourself.
Hmm.
If you have to do, I mean, the vowels are already preset. You have zero point 0.5 of your B12 or your steroid order, and then you have just like when you do a Kenalog shot or something, it's already those pre vowels already made. So you can't
Yeah.
not it's all the liquid out one bottle goes into the
Yeah.
powder form of the other bottle. So there's
Yeah.
no
There's no
um
residual.
right, there's no from that. It's just that they're probably scared, they're probably learning, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot. If this is your first time, you got to mix this
Yeah.
medication and you got to stick yourself, but it's like fail proof. But each
But people
pharmacy,
should not be doing that, right? Doesn't it break
no,
sterility too?
yeah, I mean, if that's what you feel like getting a beer bottle, well, first of all, who going to buy beer if you don't drink beer?
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. I,
Like
I couldn't understand why a professional, but like I said, I don't know what his role was. But yeah, he was teaching
every
that to people.
pharmacy, every legit pharmacy does that. You have to you we keep all that on file, and it's not just the compound, it's with your regular medication too, your NDC or something like that. If there was a recall, if you're on Levaquin and you bought Levaquin in the past year and there was a recall and that NDC match, you're going to get a letter about your Levaquin, and how we track you down is because of the NDC, your pharmacy X,
Mm-hmm.
Y,
The
and
lie.
Z.
Gotcha. Can
So,
you?
but every pharmacy has that verification
Hey
for that
Keisha, I
purpose.
Okay.
had to come
So,
on here for some help yesterday. I got curious.
Why?
I asked Kima, I got curious. I wanted to see what 15 felt like. So I had a 10 and a 5 in my fridge. So I tried the 10 and 5. Oh my God, it's too much. I was at work
It's a lot.
yesterday. I was nauseated all day. I was
Oh.
fatigued. I was like, no way can I do that 15. So I'm
But
easing on
from
back
what
down to my
dose?
10.
You went from 10 to 15?
I was curious. I wanted to try it
playing
out.
Why?
chemist,
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, 15 is a beast. It's a
It's
beast.
awful.
Yeah.
But I feel
Yeah.
much better today. I came home, I hydrated a lot, and I drank me some electrolytes, and Drank me a
Got
couple
you some
protein
rest.
shakes when I got home. Got some rest. I felt better today, but I'm going back
I'm
down
so
to my
glad.
little 10 next week.
He said it's
Yeah.
10. He appreciates 10.
It's almost how I felt when I switched from MOUNJARO to WEGOVY. And Dave, man on MOUNJARO, was telling me, he was like, why don't you just, instead of going to 2.4, why don't you try the 1 or the 1.7? And I was like, oh, my provider did the conversion chart. I was on 15, and then I had went down to 10 for a month. And so I went from 10 to 2.4. So I think that's what my mistake was. So I basically did what you did and almost passed out at work. I was
I
almost a patient.
I at least I was one of those ones that didn't jump. So when I did my conversion over to the 7.5, I think I did the 1.7. I started on the 1.7 and he had
Hmm.
to coax me to the 2.4 because I did the
Hmm.
1.7 for like 2 months and I'm like, okay, my appetite is not cutting, but it didn't give me the effects of MOUNJARO. I wasn't feeling like MOUNJARO. So I used to tell my sister, I was like, I don't feel right. Or I was like, I feel different. Not in a bad way, but I'm like, I feel different. See, when I got to
Hmm.
that 2.4, I told her, I'm like, that 2.4 ain't gonna let you do nothing.
Yeah, you was right. You
Hey
was right.
Keisha, why?
I,
Hey Keisha, why is it always us nurse that have to push the boundaries?
we don't listen because we know more than y'all. I'm just being
Mm.
funny.
Cause y'all
It's
quick,
ignorant.
cause them nurses quick. I'm a nurse. I'm a
It's
nurse.
ignorant.
My
It's
I'm a
wife,
ignorant.
nurse.
It was
my
pure
wife, my
ignorance on
wife is
my
like,
part.
you know better, you know better,
Yeah,
and you
pure
still tried it
ignorance
anyway.
on my
So she's
part.
like, I don't feel sorry for you. Whatever you got, you deserve it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Me too. Me too. Y'all, my patient was saying, "Help! Come help us!" I'm like, Lord, she scared me out of that. I was passing out. She scared me out of that thing. I was like, I guess it was good she was hollering like that because I was about to be on the floor
Now
for
you done
sure.
scared that lady.
I sure did. Sister, can you talk about the HSA card? Because that's another option. I don't think a lot of people know about. I was on my job for 9 years before I even knew that was a thing. Y'all know what that is? That's a card that you can load money on and use that card during the year to pay for certain things. I just started doing that these last 3 years, and I've been on my job 12 years.
Summer, you got to
That's
tell it. It's two different types. You got a
It's the
HSA and a
SS. You have
FSA.
a
It's two different types.
FSA.
I have a
me.
FSA. Yeah, I have a
Keisha,
FSA.
I think yours said when I looked at it was like a healthy spending. It didn't say, I should say, yours had like a healthy benefit, but I want to say it's the um. Let me think. I might have it mixed up. I know one is you can take money out and put on, and then the other one is money that's allotted to you based off your plan.
With mine,
No,
I
mine is
select
the
the
one I
amount.
took my own money and put on there.
Yeah, see, with mine, I select the amount. Say, for instance, I select 4,000. They will
Mm-hmm.
basically
So
divide within 26 pay periods that $4,000,
okay,
and
so
it's
that's the
pre-tax.
That's
okay.
mine.
But I know the
I do the
FSA
same.
is the one basically like if you it gives you money like 500 or 300 or whatever it is. FSA give you the money on the card and if you don't use it by the end of the year or the beginning of the year, you lose it. Some may roll over, but you lose it. So the SSA is the one that you would add money to the account.
Yeah, but with mine,
Somebody
Yeah.
quote me if I'm wrong.
they told me it was so much fraud going on with it. So the one I have now through the government, you have that $4,000, but you basically pay for it and you submit the receipt and they reimburse you. You don't have a
Mm.
card with money on it. The one I have, you don't have a card with money. So if I spend $60 for a copay, it automatically reimburses me that $60 to my account within like a day or two.
Oh wow.
And then yours, the Keisha, I'm gonna just say healthy spending card that she had, like it lets her get like the over the counter items like Tylenol and stuff. It paid for your pharmacy copays.
Y'all, I
Um,
just started doing that this year. I
and
had no idea
I
my
had to
car
get
did
on
that.
them. I had
I've been paying for medicine for years. I've been paying for all kind of stuff. The only time I would use that card
Kiwi
is if,
Dental.
if my daughter has braces and I was getting her together, and glasses. I would use it for my glasses, and then my daughter, she had a lot of oral surgeries because her baby teeth didn't come down. So I really was getting it for that. But then once I paid for that, I'm like, man, I got all of this money. What can I do with this card? And my sister was like, you're not using it to get this, and that. And I'm like, I didn't know that I could. Now every time I go to the store, I'm pulling that card out. They're gonna have to shut me down to stop you. They have to deny me. I try to
I,
run that on everything because I still don't know what it all covers.
I
I
used to buy
still don't.
protein. I used to buy protein shakes and all with mine.
And that's what I was telling her. Like a lot of that on the if it's on the pharmacy aisle or in the healthcare aisle or considered a health product, you can get it. Like pads, um, your vitamins, your pregame stuff. Like you be surprised, like all of that's available. And knowing that I know I have the knowledge with all this, I don't have none of that. I don't have an FSA. I don't have an HSA. I don't do none of that.
Why?
Girl,
You
I don't
don't.
do nothing.
It don't come with your plan, or just something that you don't want because they
It don't
like.
come. I never picked it with my plan or
Oh, with
whatever.
your
No.
plan. Okay. Sweet
Mm-mm.
Face
I
says you
need
can buy
nobody.
groceries on it long as it's a pharmacy in the store. Oh, I see. I didn't know that. I did
Yeah,
not know that.
healthy, like a healthy. Yeah. So each plan, yeah, majority of the time, each plan will tell you, use it for what it's for. If you, yeah, use it for what it's for. Don't go buy no Popeyes with it or no gas in
No,
it.
she said as long as a pharmacy is in the store. And Miss Janelle says with the HSAU, you must have a high deductible health plan. You can also invest those funds in stocks. My deductible is $2,500. Is that a high deductible?
For me, yeah. For a
Oh,
nurse, no.
yeah. To me, that's not high.
But some of them cards, like you can actually slide and it'll go through. So like you probably could go to Popeyes, like because it's a V. If you have a Visa or Mastercard logo, and go to Popeyes and charge it. You know what I'm saying? Don't think you got away with it because it's gonna come back on you because Popeyes ain't healthy, nor is that a pharmacy benefit. So it's like you
Mhm.
gotta be mindful.
Tammy says I have a FSA store I can buy from as well. Is that like what Mama has?
Mama have like that little card and benefit, yeah, but she only could use Walmart.
Oh, okay. Octavia says you can get scales, protein shakes, medical equipment.
Yeah.
Oh, look at her. Janelle says be sure to keep all itemized receipts because you can be audited. Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
But
It's
if you
pre-tax, so
sign
it's
up,
great. Tammy says it's pre-tax, so it's great to do if you can. Lenny Trini says aspirins, Benadryl. Octavia says all my designer son, honey, she got a case of glasses. Okay, all designer. I be waiting for and I buy two pair of glasses and shades every year. Prescription, progressive. All of my glasses are prescriptive progressive glasses.
yeah, Pam, my mom has the same thing too.
What she said?
The 300 OTC products, but it gives her the option to do the groceries, the products, and the utilities. They just give her an amount and she can just sort it out how she
Mm-hmm.
feels.
Delante said, "This is some wonderful information." Queenie65 says,
Take sexy.
what is the easiest way to take the Wegovy shot?" Girl, listen, y'all. When I tell y'all, I hate that shot. I hate that. I don't know that there's an easy way. That shot hurt, y'all. I feel like I'm stabbing myself every time I take that injection. I hate
It's
that
the one you
pen. I don't
pull
know
out
how
and
y'all doing it.
you have to add force to it.
Yes, major
That's how
force.
my
It's like
Ammovic.
It's like
Yeah,
you try to pinch your skin like this. You
don't
try to
pinch your
pinch your
skin.
skin like this,
Don't
and you put the thing up against, and it's like you gotta dig deep in
don't
before the pin.
don't don't pinch your skin with that, because that's how it is for my Amavig, and I need my Amavig for my
I
migraine.
have to because my body is soft. I don't have a hard body. It don't matter
You
where
you
you go in my
you
body.
have to do it standing up.
I do it standing up, and I still feel like I'm digging. I don't care where I give it. I'm digging. I hate that injection. They got to do better. $1,350 a month for 4 pins. I don't know how to.
You
I can't
know,
divide that right now,
Manjaro
but
just got you spoiled with the auto
very much
injector.
so. Very much so. That pin sucks, baby. I cannot tell you how to take. I done tried to pinch. I done tried to pull taut like this. It's no
I
way
just
I have given this to hurt me every time.
when I do it, I just do it and I just push down, take a deep breath and just push down and just hold it till I hear the clicks.
Wait, Octavia says I walk into the dentist like a millionaire. Baby, you be having your coins, huh? It don't matter what's going on with this teeth. Do it. I want it. Yes, me too, boo. Me too. That's funny. I'm sorry, sister. I just had that was funny.
Yeah, I don't yeah.
Oh, Lenny Trini says Amazon accepts it. Items are labeled FSA. Queenie 65 says I was on Manjaro and I hate this shot. Okay, exactly, baby. That Manjaro injection, that little button you press, and then you be like, dang, did I get my medicine? Whereas with this one, I'm like, golly, am I bleeding? Man, that shit hurt, man. I hate that pen. I'm telling you, if my insurance covers Manjaro, I'm going back just because of that pen. But I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I love the suppression with Wegovy. I like the suppression
Yeah.
because I didn't think about food too much with Manjaro, but I feel like my weight come down faster on Wegovy. I don't know, y'all. I can't
Because
explain it.
Wegovy, if you don't listen to Wegovy, you're going to have a meeting in the ladies' room.
Yeah, you can't overeat. But I mean, you can't overeat on Manjaro too. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. I feel like my
Manjaro,
appetite suppression is more controlled on Wegovy than it was Manjaro, but I feel like I have more gastric issues on the Wegovy than I did with Manjaro. So if that makes
Coco
sense,
Melon,
the
she
side
said
effects
her
is the
body
same.
is soft. She said her body soft.
Yeah, my body is soft everywhere. I don't have no muscle nowhere. So it's like I don't know, y'all. I hate that injection. Queenie says I did one Wegovy and today is shot day. Oh, Janelle says don't pinch. Just firmly press against your skin until it clicks. Lord, girl, I swear I be touching my rib. The needle be up against my rib. That's how deep I gotta dig for that pin to ignite. I
Did you
must have
know?
got a. No, I'm telling you, sister. Have you taken a Wegovy injection pin yet?
No, but I told you my Amavig is like that.
Oh, okay, okay, girl.
And that's how I had to learn with my Amavig, because at first when I pulled the thing off, I thought I broke it.
Mm,
And then when I did it, I put it on my stomach and I didn't think I had it on my stomach. And when it was actually on my stomach, it don't take as much force as you think it does. And I took it off my
man.
stomach because I didn't know it was sticking me. And girl, it was just squirting Amavig all over the place.
And you see, that's my thing. I'm going, you gotta, on that Wegovy pen, there's a yellow dropper. You wait until the yellow dropper fills up, and then you know that you've gotten your medicine. So I just endure the pain
It
until
don't
that thing
click.
fill up.
It don't give you the clicks.
It gives you a click, and then you start seeing your pen fill with yellow. And once it fills with yellow, you know that it has administered. But I still be holding it there because I don't trust them pens.
With my
Let
Agovi,
me.
with my Amavig, I get the click when it start to go in, and then you get a click after. Like, yeah, the two clicks.
Yeah. Let me read the rest of the comments. If y'all have a question, please put it in the chat because I held y'all long enough. Miss Janelle says, don't pinch, firmly press against your skin until it clicks. Glam Life says, I did my first MOUNJARO yesterday and I thought I did it wrong because it didn't hurt. That's what I'm saying. Gigi says, I got an allergy shot pen like that. Ouch. Big ouch. Coco Melon says, depends on your body. Girl, this body all busted. I don't have no muscles. Pam Life says, is it given a 10 milligram suppression or a 15 milligram suppression? Girl, it's given I would say it's given I would say it's given a 16 milligram, just slightly over that 15. I'm telling you, it give more suppression to me than MOUNJARO gave. And I'm saying that because I don't have no food noise. With MOUNJARO, once I would get to day 8, I would say 7, 8, because I push those pins back too. My food rage would come on. But with Wegovy, I would say once I get to day 9, that's when my food noise come on. But it's like subtle, it's like I feel I start eating a little bit more at that one time. I'm not thinking about food, but with MOUNJARO, I'm thinking about food. So I guess that's what I'm saying. My food noise is more quieter with Wegovy than it is with MOUNJARO. If that makes sense. If that makes sense.
I could feel when my Wegovy wears off.
Delante, don't mess. Oh, Delante, have you ever taken Wegovy? I don't think so.
Big sexy.
No, ma'am, I have not. Only MOUNJARO. Well, I took Ozempic, I want to say in 2019, but I was,
Is Ozempic pen like that?
I think
yeah.
so.
Mhm.
Ooh.
But I was sick to my stomach, and my weight didn't come off real fast, and I was paying full price, so it was a no for me after 3 months.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, 3 months. Okay.
Long
If does
time for
anybody
you
have
to
any? Does anybody want to say anything in closing? Because I'm gonna let y'all go. We've been on here way too long. Thank you, everybody who came on and shared. Sheena says, I've been on Wegovy since April. Consistent loss. She says, very little food noise, 42 pounds down. I'm telling you, I do not have
Congrats.
food noise. I do not have food noise with Wegovy. Thankfully.
Keisha,
I
I
love
want
you
to say
guys.
thank you for your time, and thank you for your education, and thank you and Summer for putting this out here. Like, this is some really good information. Like, I'm gonna go look up this whole FSA situation.
Yes, you're
Yeah, so
welcome,
thank
my
y'all for
love.
your
And
time.
thank you for being so supportive. I appreciate your time. Kima, thank you so much for being so supportive. If you
Between
guys
you and Delante, girl, y'all be getting me through my little midnight hours because I be laughing at both of y'all because y'all be killing me.
okay.
Y'all be killing me. y'all be y'all be killing me. I still laughing at y'all TikTok.
If you guys are not following Delante, please follow Delante. Please follow Kima and my sister Summer. You guys, thank you so much for attending the live. I don't know what we're gonna talk about next, y'all. And I just think of ideas as I go. I used to just come on and do Q&A. So now I try to come on with a purpose. So I try to think of something that the community, when I see y'all's posts and I read through the comments, I try to pick something that we all can learn from, because even when I come on to educate, I also come on to learn, because like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I don't know, and I lean to y'all. I lean to the community to educate me as well, because even though I'm a nurse, I don't know everything, y'all. I work in emergency medicine. A lot of stuff I don't know. If you ain't stabbed up, shot up, somebody hacked you with a hatchet, or they done ran over you a million times with a car, sometimes I don't even be knowing what to do. I like trauma. I love trauma nursing. So thank you guys for attending the live. Thank you guys for sharing your journeys, because you really don't have to. I appreciate y'all's time, and I'm definitely gonna see you guys in the next live, you guys. Yeah, honey, I like the people that be stabbed and shot up. I love those cases.
Mm.
Sometimes the diabetes and the heart attacks, they're good. I have a cardiac background, but it's the trauma that I love.
Keisha, so our next topic, thanks to Miss Janelle, it basically will be a Q&A. Y'all tell me how y'all formulary changes, if any, or any changes come October 1st. So open enrollment questions and formulary changes, if any, come not February,
Okay.
October 1st. So let y'all get into that, get y'all feels, and then y'all could.
And y'all DM me if y'all's formulary picked up MOUNJARO. Y'all know I'm gonna make y'all are the first people that I tell. I'm gonna let y'all know if it picks up, and y'all please let me know as well if y'all's formulary picks up MOUNJARO. I'm praying for y'all. I love you guys. Good night.
I know mine ain't. It ain't even on there.